Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Idol Talk, where we explore South Korean pop culture one obsession at a time. My name is Nathan, and I'm your host.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley, and today is November 3rd, my birthday, and also Jungkook's album release day. Thank
Oh,
you to Jungkook for this happy birthday gift.
perfect.
Love that for you.
I know the the title track standing next to you is so good. So good. We are in like 80s Michael Jackson era in K-pop right now. And I love it.
All right, we'll probably do a review of that one real soon.
Yeah.
But until then, we have a special guest in the recording box studio today. We don't have a studio here at Idol Talk Pod. We are separated by borders and states, but we have Casey back, which means that she's back. Casey, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Casey. Our original listeners will recognize my name and my voice and make the correlation that, yes, when Shiny comes back, I too rise from the dead. I was an original host with Idol Talk Pod's debut, and then I did step back a year ago to focus on my work and also the craziness of my life. I'm about to give birth next month, so I may appear more as I go on maternity leave, but this might just be the start with, we'll get into it.
Well, as we all know, Casey's ultimate bias is none other than the great Taemin, and he is back with his latest comeback. First one since the military concluded,
Yes.
right? As a soloist. He's back with a mini album titled Guilty, and Casey is just gonna kick us off with some background and then roll in some of her thoughts here because I know that there are things percolating in her.
Yeah, all week, all fucking week, you guys. So yes, Taemin did end spooky season on a bang with his new mini album, Guilty. It's a mini album in the truest sense of the word, 6 tracks, 18 minutes long for the full album listen. The title track, Guilty. We have The Rizness, She Loves Me Not Over You, Night Away, and Blue. Just a couple of background information on our title track, Guilty. According to our favorite Shawl, Stacey Nam, a pretty prolific writer in the K-pop community, Taemin originally suggested that this was to be a Shiny song during their hard era, but the members were all like, no, this is all you.
This is all you.
And it's a good point because it is a very Taemin song. Like when this came out, I was like, this is quintessential Taemin. Like
Yeah.
I fully expect this from him, but I was still impressed, shocked. This is an elevation of his persona, his artistry, and just his musicality too.
This was, for me, Taemin's like grand return into K-pop. And what a void he has left, in my opinion.
I agree. When I watched the music video for the first time, because I didn't listen to the title track first, I like just audio. I went straight to the music video. I was like, wow, this is what we needed.
Yeah.
And I kind of got it a little bit from Jimin and his solo activities. I was getting some vibes, but obviously Taemin is a titan of industry and Jimin is new to his solo work. And not that I'm comparing the two, but because they are so similar in their specific roles in K-pop, specific vibe and energy, it's easy to say like, okay, they are comparable artists. But wow, I was just floored with Guilty. I think I watched the music video like 3 times a day this past week.
Wow.
At least. It's my favorite.
You're putting in the streams.
I am. I'm
Wait, when you say
contributing to
that
the
it's your
problem.
favorite, would you like what do you mean by that?
I think it's my favorite.
Wow, that's really interesting because he just has so
That's
much, right?
He
that
has,
is very
oh,
interesting.
for sure. But I think, and I'll get into why it's my favorite, but just to kind of sum it up now while we're on the topic, it is so, it feels so him in a really
Mm-hmm.
authentic way.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we know SM doesn't, like, these artists aren't writing their songs, but it feels so Taemin that I feel like I understand him better now. Even someone who's been following his career for as long as I have and has seen like the growth, especially like what they're 15 years now, Shiny. That's
Mm-hmm.
half his life. But this feels so him.
Yeah. Ashley, were you going to say something?
Um, I'm interested to hear what the music video is about because I watched it and it gave me like scary vibes.
It's
Yeah.
October. Okay. Oh, I mean, it's at the end of
Well,
Halloween.
yeah, but it almost felt so. I mean, Casey will get into it, but I didn't like dig very deep into the lyrics before watching it. I'm just going off of what I interpreted from the video, but it felt like an exorcism or like someone being possessed, you know, like the hand in the t-shirt, the neck grab.
I don't want to
So,
talk
Oreo
about the
neck
hand in the
grab.
t-shirt yet. We'll get there, but I
Yeah,
don't want
just
to talk
one
about it right
second.
now.
One second. One thing at a time. One
o-
thing at a
One thing at a
time.
okay.
time. Okay. So let's move on to the music video discussion then, because this is a hot topic here. So when I was thinking about this music video, I like compiled keywords to kind of drive the discussion. I didn't do like full notes, like fleshed out full thoughts, because I wanted this to be as organic as I felt the music video was giving, you know? So here are my
Mhm.
keywords for this music video:
Okay.
cinematic,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
carnal,
Yes.
raw,
Carnal. Okay.
boyhood, loss of
Yes.
innocence, loss of
Yes.
control, and then horror,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
right? It was giving kind of like zombie, it was giving cult,
Yes.
it was giving also androgyny because he was wearing a lot of maxi skirts here.
Which
Yes.
is
And
Taemin quintessential.
yes, very much so. And I really want to focus on the keywords of like the loss of innocence and loss of control, because if you're looking at in the beginning of the music video, there's a dance move he does. It's next to like a van. You're watching him through the window of the front seat, and he's kind of doing these jerky like moves, right? And it's like reminiscent of kind of like a puppet being, being moved. And even the hand up the shirt move that we see, the hand coming up the shirt, controlling his head's direction. It feels like the imagery I got was like someone under your skin, someone
Mm.
control outside influence controlling
Oh.
you. And it's hot. It's hot as fuck because you see his little abs. I love when he does, and we'll talk about like the TikTok challenge
Oh, we can talk
because
about that.
because he does it sometimes. Some artists will do the hand up the shirt, some artists do like just the over the shirt. But in the context of the music video, it is such a genius move
Mm.
because it fits so
Hmm.
well with the overall concept. Like
Like
if
the
you haven't,
choreo actually speaks to the story of what he's trying to
yes,
tell. Okay.
yes. And there's, it's we're going through this like world with Tim, and like we're outside in a field. They're in the uniforms they're wearing when they're in the field is like schoolboy-esque uniforms, like little shorts that fell like a couple inches above the knee, something a young boy would wear, right? In like a school that wears uniforms. But they're like he's given a gun, he's being directed to shoot it. Then they're in like a dorm room where there's like there's boys writhing on the beds. That's where I'm getting like that zombie vibe too, because it's kind of like
Yes.
or possession vibe, what like Ashley said earlier. It's kind of interesting. And I don't know, at first I was thinking it was like related to the military, his experience there kind of informing that imagery. Then it's also, I was thinking maybe it has something to relate to like sexuality and gender, where he's being forced to conform to what a traditional male in that society is expected to conform to. There's a lot of ways to really look at this imagery in the music video and interpret what's happening. And I think maybe the answer is all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they're all meaningful topics of interest that every single time I hear you talk about a Taemin release, a variant of what you're saying always comes up.
Yeah.
So it's like he's also expanding upon things that he's already alluded to.
And that's something I really, really admire about Taemin, is that he has such a grip on his vision and who his identity is as an artist.
As a solo artist.
As a solo artist, yes. The choreo we get from him, the music we get from him, it just aligns with his journey as an artist every time. And I think, he's 30 now. And they say, your 30s is when you really lock into who you are. He's coming from the military. He's no longer, I guess you would say, like a boy. He's a man, but like his definition of it is what we're seeing. And it's such a beautiful thing to see develop over the years. And seeing him explore it in these ways is like so beautiful to me. And this is why I fucking stand this dude, because like he fucking challenges everything. He challenges me. I love dark concepts, as you guys know. So
yes, you do.
Everything about your stan life is very consistent, Casey, okay?
I know. I know.
Let's just say that once and for all.
I had that same thought when I was first listening to this. I was like, God damn it, they're gonna give me shit, because of course I like this and it aligns with everything that I've historically liked.
Like, this is Black Swan Casey just like blossoming right now.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's so, I wish that more artists could explore their creativity and their identity through their art the way Taemin has the freedom to.
I think, he has a lot of creative freedom to do this, but for him, and I'm not trying to compare him with anyone else, he just executes it well. He is within the top 0.001% of dancers and performers in K-pop. And something that, and we'll get into this because also we want to talk about some of the promotions that he's doing, but he is now also like a killer vocalist.
Yeah.
And with all due respect to him, that was not always said of him.
No.
In earlier parts of his career, even when he started his solo work.
He wasn't even in the debut song for Shiny. His vocals weren't there.
They weren't in the ways in which they have developed now.
No, he literally was not in Shiny. Because his vocals weren't developed enough to be in their title track when they debuted.
Replay?
And now,
so his
vocals
voice
are
is
not in that song. No.
Wait, why have I never noticed that?
But he has like moments where he's dancing up front.
But he's lip singing to other people's vocals.
I guess when he does the dance break, it's just him in the middle, I guess.
Smiling and dancing. And that's
they
why
debut someone who's not completed.
Because he was like 14 at the time.
Yeah. And he's also a phenomenal dancer already. And a phenomenal performer.
Yeah.
And he was working on his vocals. Like Jonghyun was helping him with develop that sound. And I've talked about how that has influenced his vocals over the years as well. But that's why I really admire his journey as an artist. And I always admire that type of work in an idol, like Minho not being able to dance as well. And now he's doing a TikTok 1 minute long Taemin choreo. So, you know, that's called development. That's called growth.
Casey,
Yes.
I'm like fake. I like never knew that Taemin had 0 lines. And it just like dances in the dance break in the front.
I mean, I feel like
it's
that's
because I've seen
like,
different iterations of it also.
Yeah, and he sings in it now. Like,
yeah.
If
Oh
they
my
were
goodness.
to
This
release,
is, I'm learning something new, everyone.
But also, would you think that would be a possible thing to happen to begin with? I wouldn't, unless I was like looking into it, or like, it's just one of those like shiny fun facts.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Is, he's not proud. Like, I don't know if like it's in bad taste to be reiterating that information, because it's not something that Taemin is proud of. He's said in interviews like he's not proud of that. He felt shame, and he like pushed himself to work on his vocals because they debuted without his vocals in a song.
But ultimately, what I see is, look at him now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he is singing his heart out while dancing like no others do. Right? And he's also doing ballads.
Yeah.
In his own work.
You know what I really love about Taemin is he understands the female gaze. He understands sensuality, because the moves that he's doing, not just here in Guilty, but in other of his like solo releases.
This tracks for sure.
So deliberate. I'm just like, please release me.
Yeah. he with this release, there's so many things that I know of Taemin. Like, my image of Taemin is what was released in this title track. Like, it's a dark concept. It's dramatic. There's slow motion dance movements. It's like very, like you said, cinematic. Those are all words that I would expect to use to describe a Taemin release. Right. Like, if he didn't release this song, then I would have been confused.
If he led with the Rizness.
If he led with the
Here we go. Here we go.
God. First of all, why are they just gonna create words now? Like, I know that Riz is a word as of this year, our Lord 2023, but like, the Rizness, like, that's
a real word there. I've seen it in TikTok comments. It's very Gen Z. Yeah. We're millennials, so we're ancient. We don't know all the stuff, but he's got to stay current with like the this is part of his journey, right? When you're an idol and your career spans 15 years in an industry where your career could only last 7-8 months, or at max 3 years.
Whenever, it can be closed in a snap of a finger.
Yep. This is the type of stuff that you do to stay relevant and exciting. And as much as we clown on the Rizness, it debuted at #1 on the K hip hop chart.
My God.
Hip hop, Taemin solo on the hip hop chart. So
I mean, the song itself is good.
Right.
It's just
like
words.
The title is a little bit strange for us.
You hate the word.
It's cheesy.
Sure.
You know, it's fine. It's like try hard.
The Rizness.
Yeah, I mean, this is the issue with, not issue, right? But this is the thing with K-pop, integrating. And K-pop has always integrated words in English, right, from since the very beginning, right? So nowadays it's like, okay, they have to like put in very snarky fun word. They can't just say
at
candy.
Least they're using it right.
Yeah, they're being forced to use it, which is understandable in my opinion.
But at least what I'm saying is, at least he's using the term Riz and Rizness correctly,
Sure.
because sometimes they just be putting in English words willy-nilly to
That's true.
sound cool and
Willy-nilly,
exciting.
they do.
Like, I'll take it. Um,
Casey, what do you think about the choreo and
for
the TikTok challenge?
Guilty.
Yeah, for
Oh,
Guilty.
oh my God. His TikTok challenge is so fucking annoying to me because while he understands the fundamental concept of staying relevant and always, trying new things and exploring new concepts in order to stay on trend and stay exciting, this TikTok challenge is a fundamental misunderstanding of the concept of TikTok challenges. First of all, it's 1 minute long. Next, it's hard as shit. Like,
yeah, it's hard.
who I'm
Who's
not gonna
doing
try.
this? Yeah.
I'm not gonna try this challenge. The point of a TikTok challenge is that like regular people will spread the song because they're also doing the choreo, right? I like who started the TikTok challenge concept to begin with? Wasn't it like
The
left?
Zico one.
Yeah, there's that. And
One
how
of the
simple was
first,
that?
at least.
You could do it, like you could learn it in an hour and then just make a video. But
Can you
he's
describe the TikTok challenge? Because I haven't seen it yet.
It's
Is it
literally
just like
just the
It's
choreo, which is
choreo?
difficult.
yeah, it's like the beginning and latter half of the part where the hand goes up the shirt,
Yeah.
and there's like, it's just hard, bro. Like,
Yeah, it's very
and
difficult.
I the first one I saw was the Hoshi one, the one from 17, and I sent that to you guys on
Oh,
Instagram DMs. And I liked it because I didn't understand at first that it was meant to be a TikTok challenge. I thought Hoshi
right.
was just there to like vibe because he's a showl,
He is such a
and
showl.
he really is. Um, and I just liked the juxtaposition of their different dance styles interpreting the same choreo, where Hoshi was hitting it really hard. Taemin was doing it very soft and like, I was like, I really love seeing the interpretation of these moves. And then when I realized it was meant to be a TikTok dance challenge, I was like, this is chaotic. Like they're having a
Yeah.
hard time.
Yeah.
I wrote down all the ones that I saw. It was started with 17's Hoshi, Espa's Winter, and Karina did one
Oh yeah, I saw those.
each. 10 did it, and I like 10's because he gets Taemin's moves. He understands what you know the
That's his
goal
group
is, I
mate. At the
guess.
end of the day,
Yeah.
that's his group mate.
Yeah.
They're droppers.
They're droppers. Yeah, they're
There's
lifelong droppers.
but I will say 10 Taemin can do dropping and he can do guilty, but 10 can do dropping, but he can't do guilty.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Anyway, and then my
10 works
favorites.
hard nonetheless.
10 works hard. I'll give him his flowers. You're right. I'm not hating. I'm just saying. And then my favorites were Shiny's Key and Minho videos of this dance. In the one with Key at the end, Taemin pulls out an envelope from his back pocket to give to Key, and inside is money. And that was an inside joke because Key said of Taemin's TikTok dance challenge that his challenge is so long that you'd have to pay people to perform it.
Uh,
And then Minho's was really cute because they started off like doing the fiery charisma Minho like facial expressions. They go into the dance, and at the end they do this move. I forgot. I don't know how to do it here to show you guys, but like it was very baby girl. It was so cute. I just love seeing them participate, and of course they would because it's promos. But I will say they all did the under the shirt move correctly to show us their little bellies.
yeah. Yeah, when you sent us the Hoshi video, I didn't know until you just said right now that that was the TikTok challenge. I just
Yeah.
thought they were like performing the choreo.
I
And yeah, when you first said TikTok challenge, like I was imagining a TikTok challenge, and I imagined like a half body frame where they're doing like the choreo,
Mm-hmm.
but just like the frame is like this, you know? That would be a good TikTok challenge where they're just doing like very small movements with their hands and their upper body, not like full
No, it's
one
the
minute.
No,
full.
it's a full-on
choreo.
cover. It's a cover
Yeah,
I know.
requirement.
it's a cover. Let's not call
Yeah.
it a
Yeah, and
TikTok dance. It's a dance cover.
Yeah,
It
and the
is.
K-pop community and social media community knows this because I mean everyone appreciates Taemin's talent, but everyone's like, "What the hell? I can't do this. What the heck? How is this possible?" And then
Yeah.
two, they'll like caption the Taemin's TikTok challenge, and they'll be like, "This isn't a TikTok challenge, right? This is an audition tape."
When I sent that DM to you guys too, I was like, leave it at Taemin to challenge your joint and ligament control.
Yeah,
Oh,
literally.
yeah.
So annoying,
In one where
Taemin.
Zico just pats his cheeks.
That's what
you know?
I'm.
Yes.
If I can do it, then I consider it a TikTok challenge.
Me
I'm
too.
not a dancer. If I can't do it, then you're just doing a performance video. I can't participate in this.
It was a performance video.
Yeah.
At the end of the
I
day.
Yes.
appreciate it though. I really like seeing the other idols doing the dance moves because it's so Taemin.
Yeah.
It's so specific and unique to really his
Nothing
style.
else would work for his style, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I just love, I especially, Hoshi's is my favorite because he's fucking hitting it. He's hitting those moves. There's control. But the point is that you're supposed to like, be a little more fluid with it.
Hoshi practiced. He would not let down his idols like that.
No, I know. You could tell he knew it.
Yes.
That's why
Yeah.
I had so much fun watching it.
I liked Hoshi's video where they were doing the 17 song cover, and
Mhm.
Hoshi had like an album, a signed album from
Yeah.
Shiny's like first album.
An early version.
And he-
an early
yeah.
album.
And he showed that at the beginning of the video, and then they did the 17 cover together. That was so good.
It
I mean,
was-
Shiny's your
moment.
idol's idol, whether or not you like it or
Yes.
not. That's just what it
Yeah.
is. That's just what it is.
I know.
Casey, did you want to go over with us some of the other promotional work that he's doing this time around? He's doing a lot, it seems like.
Yeah, he did do a lot, but the ones that are really notable to me were his appearance on Dingo Killing Voice.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't really have like I've the first Killing Voice that I saw was I use, I think. So I don't really have a lot of exposure to the concept of Killing Voice, but I'm assuming that it's little to no vocal editing to show
One
for
take.
idols to showcase, one take to showcase their vocal range with their
Yes.
greatest hits or just like their discography.
Yes,
Right.
I would say
Right.
that that's correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so he appeared on that, which I fucking loved because his voice is so rich to me. I have a list of all the songs that he performed. So it was Move, Hypnosis, Snowflower, I'm Crying, Rise, I Think It's Love, Press Your Number, Criminal, Black Rose, Two Kids, Danger, and then he ended with Guilty. And
It's a mini concert.
it is, and I loved hearing these songs in this way.
Yeah, stripped down also for the most part. I think Killing Voice, I say this every single time, not everyone can do Killing Voice. Not everyone does this promotion. First of all, you have to be pretty senior in the industry to have at least 15 to 20 minutes worth of content.
Right.
And because it's a long series. And then second, like you have to be able to hold it. Yeah, you have to be able to hold it yourself. Yeah. Especially for soloists. So I thought that this was such a treat. And he also went for some of the hits that for me, like I love the most. Like when he came out with Hypnosis #2, I was like, that's the song that those are the songs that really get to me with Taemin.
I also appreciated that this was a vocal performance only. Like he's not dancing here.
Right.
So it's just his vocals.
Right.
So they don't edit.
No,
I mean,
that
yeah,
I
it
don't
looks
think
one
so.
take.
Yeah, I think they just create a track where, or like they set it up to where they play the instrumental of each song back to back, and it's just one take.
I
There
love
isn't
that.
there's like someone that produces it though, right? So there's someone that
Yeah,
like probably suggests that like, oh, here's the part that we're gonna do.
right,
Right.
right,
And
right.
here's how the flow of the medley is gonna go.
Right, but as far as like the vocals itself, like
It looks like it's a
there's no
straight through.
post
Yeah.
there's no
No,
post editing. Okay, so this I mean, it's called Killing Voice, so obviously I'm coming to the assumption that the point is that we're showing off their
Yeah.
actual vocal capabilities.
Which
yes,
Are
is
there
which is a lot of time lost in a K-pop performance.
Yeah, I agree. Not I mean that like there's always jokes online about how there, you could tell which idols
Lip sync
just
and not,
wanted to
right?
dance,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
but they're forced to sing. Are there other killing voices that I should watch that you think?
Yes,
yes,
there's a lot.
Okay.
100%. I feel like every time a killing voice occurs, we talk about it
We
on
do
this
talk about it.
podcast.
No, it's a very large staple in K-pop promotions now, but still
Yes,
not everyone does and can do it.
Have there been
right.
That's
bad
the thing.
ones?
Usually
No,
they're pretty
No.
good.
Okay, because you're
Usually
not
they're good.
they
Yeah.
everyone's aware enough to not put you on if you're like low key shitty, right? They
right,
wouldn't do that to you. Okay.
No, and
I
right.
these
would
are all
love
So,
it for the
veterans
drama.
too. These are mostly
yes.
veterans too.
So the caliber of person going on this programming would be like IU, EXO, NCT,
Mm-hmm.
like
17, yeah.
17 vocal groups.
Okay, I'm
There
gonna
are some
explore
Like they
this
still
other,
more.
rap on it. They still rap on it, but it's supposed to
yeah,
highlight like, okay, 127 goes on it, like they're gonna kill you with back to you.
Okay,
They
okay.
still do like kick it, right? But like the highlight is the B-sides almost.
yeah.
Which is the only songs of theirs that I like. No,
So you
that's not
better watch.
true. I know, no, yeah. I'm gonna explore Killing Voice a lot more. I
There's a lot of them
typically
now.
There is.
Yeah, when I first saw I think it was only her and Hwasa in
Yeah,
the
Mama Moo was on
channel.
it. Mama Moo was on it a couple, I think definitely.
Yeah, this
G
was
Idol
very
has one.
early. Yeah, so I now that there's more, I think that's something I'm just gonna put on in the background when I watch.
I literally think that's what people have done because it's like a mini concert
It
and just
is.
plays in your
Yeah.
background.
And I think that's a really good concept because let's say you're not super familiar with a specific idol's discography, it's a good way to like know which ones
Absolutely.
are
Yeah,
like their hits. Do they do they do you think they get to choose? Do we know if they
I
choose
think
their
they
songs?
I think they
I think
do
so, yeah.
curate it a little bit. Because, for example, EXO, they didn't choose all title songs. There were like a couple
Oh yeah,
B
and the
sides in there.
Taemin's weren't all title songs.
Yeah, there are
Okay,
Right.
B-sides
cool.
kind of interlapped in there
Because the
that are
purpose
good
is to show
treats
off the
because
voice.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And
Yeah, and
building off of what go ahead, Ashley.
yeah, I will say that I am not familiar with Taemin's discography, and his killing voice really showcased his like vocal ballad ability. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that a lot of those beginning like those B-sides in the 2014, 2016 albums existed.
Right, because
They're
then
really
now
good.
it gives you, oh, you know that they're from 14 and 16 because there was a caption at the bottom that
Right.
told you where that
Mm-hmm.
album came from, like third mini album,
Mm-hmm.
second
Yeah.
full-length album from 2017's Move.
Genius, by the way. Ah, so good for just promoting an artist's work over time too.
Agreed.
Mhm.
That's
I
on
love
Dingo.
it.
Props to Dingo.
Yeah.
All this work. Yes.
What a fun concept. I really like that, especially because if we're talking about like how idol groups have this is definitely just such a tangent and I'm sorry, but like how idol groups as a concept and as like a product over time has evolved. There are some where the emphasis is not necessarily on how good they can sing, but
Of
how
course.
dazzling they can perform and how hot they are,
Yeah.
which is kind of like crux of K-pop historically anyway, I guess.
Yeah. But it does bring us back to some kind of basics of like
Hmm.
voice.
Yeah, which is why when there is voice, it kind of stands out in the
Right.
landscape of K-pop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's out there working hard. He is not taking any of his time for granted. He is just
I
I'm
know.
back. It made me also think of like, yeah, he really wants back in because one of the highlights of my year in terms of performances was seeing Taemin at KCON.
I know.
And
I
to
hate you.
just to like see him perform his 3 to 4 songs, very it is what you see on the TV, if not better, of course.
Hmm. Hmm.
And to also see behind the scenes footage, and I mentioned this in our KCON review, of idols just taking the time to want to watch Taemin perform and close KCON
Yeah. Yeah. I think you said
2023.
that they gathered to watch him specifically,
They
and it's
gathered
just
to watch him
interesting.
specifically, yes.
I mean, we are reinforced time and time again that Taemin is the idol's idol. And that was that brings me to my next notable promo work where he appeared on Suga's Suchwita
Mm-hmm.
talk show. Um this one I did take more comprehensive notes because Suga being fundamentally a music producer and an artist in his own right with respect to music, he has an appreciation for music and creativity that allows him to really explore these concepts and ideas with the artists that he's talking to. And especially being a veteran of the K-pop industry, where Taemin is surpassing him by only 5 years, they had a lot of really interesting discourse as far as the K-pop landscape, the trajectory of both their groups and how they've evolved over time, the dynamic of growing up essentially in front of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they're also both 93 line.
Mm.
So they bonded over that. It was really cute. Taemin showed up with a beer and they were like, oh, yeah, like it's nice to meet another 93-er. Like, why are 93ers all lonely? We should hang out more. We
I
should be
am a 93
friends.
line and I will join.
Me too. Taemin, take us. So here's just a couple of the notable things that they talked about in that appearance. So Taemin said that with this comeback, he wanted to showcase the real him, but he also said it's a transition time for him
Hmm.
because he's just coming back from his military service. He's freshly 30. So what does the future look like for him and for SHINee? This comeback is a transition to that person. And then he also said that Guilty was a challenge against the taboo.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that
Interesting
part
note.
that part was very interesting. I'll let you elaborate on it more.
I mean, like I kind of touched on it in the music video where I felt like
He's breaking all the norms. That's what
he
we
is
love about
breaking
him.
the norms. And he touches on it again later on. He says that, comparing his 20s versus being 30, in the past, he tormented himself by not being accepting of himself. Now he's comfortable in who he is, where he specifically said the words genderless and his
Yes.
own unique identity.
Wow.
He said the word genderless a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That is really interesting
Yeah,
because
and
now he's naming it.
right. And that's what I thought was interesting cuz like he obviously has his stuff or like his videos and his persona are very feminine, but I didn't know that was deliberate.
Right.
Like I just thought like I don't know what I thought. Like I didn't know that that was on purpose,
Hmm.
but I guess it is.
I
It's
mean, with
intentional.
Advice era, we were getting like, he was wearing that crop top with like a sports bra
Right,
underneath.
right, 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 right.
Right.
He's worn skirts over pants. Like he's explored these things. And I typically use the word androgynous with him because even when he was younger, they made fun of him a lot for looking like a girl. They dressed
Mhm.
him up as a girl and would like have fun at his expense. And he didn't necessarily like that,
Mm, mm,
but
mm, mm, mm.
now, and I can see where he's saying that he was tormented in the past by like not being fully himself. Not that I'm saying like him dressing as a woman is himself. I'm saying that the acceptance of his duality and the fact that he
Mhm.
can be both is explored in his art, and he's acknowledging it now and accepting that about him and really
Mm, mm,
embracing
mm.
it in a way
Mhm.
that's so, I don't know, like he's doing it really, really well. It reflects in his work that he's
Yeah.
coming to terms with that.
Right.
But I wonder what that means. I mean, we can only speculate, and
Yeah.
he's never really
What do you
gonna.
think it means?
I don't want to say what I don't. No, I'm not
I
gonna.
think we'll just have to, like, time will tell.
Time will tell, but I love it. I love it.
Yes.
And he is going to stay active forever.
He is really gonna. He is.
Period.
I'm gonna be 57 on this pod. Like, hey guys, I'm back
When
because
you're
Taemin's
guesting like
back.
3 comebacks a year and you're like, oh God, I'm so old and tired. And Taemin's like out there dancing with
Oh,
like the younguns.
oh God, I know.
Oh gosh.
Hopefully, technology has advanced that I can like have Taemin in my living room when he does these comebacks. I don't know.
like
I'm in it for the
like
long haul with
3D,
him. Yeah.
like Tupac at Coachella.
Yeah. I want it to get real weird. I think I'm owed that as a stan.
That'd be
I've
fun.
put in my time. Okay. Give
You
me
know
my
that
3D hologram Taemin.
you know how Apple came out with those VR headset? And is
Yeah.
it Apple or I don't know who? And you
Oh,
can like,
Meta.
is it Meta? Yeah. And you could put on the VR headset and then you could like be like, you could get this cinematic view of a TV.
Uh-huh.
That would be cool.
That
Like,
would be
you're like,
cool. That would be
imagine
cool.
we all in the future are watching K-pop music videos like
Or
I mean, to be
concerts.
honest,
100%
it would not
screen.
surprise me at all. It would not surprise me at all.
Uh, it wouldn't surprise me at all either. That's the direction our technology is going.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be so cool.
It would be cool. I would pay money, a lot of money for that because now like it's a lot more challenging for me to just spontaneously go to a concert.
Right.
So
Right.
I invest in the ability to
Casey,
bring it to me.
I love it when you're on the pod because you have quality taste. You are loyal
I am loyal.
to your person, your K-pop person,
He's my person.
and you bring the analysis because he requires that of you.
He does, and that's what I was saying earlier. He challenges me. And I know him. I feel like I know him well. I know his footprint. Like this is typical Taemin, but it's also not. Like I just don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
And his work as a soloist is so subversive of the typical K-pop idol that we get. Not that it's a bad thing. I love all the idols that I personally stan, and they can be vastly different from Taemin, but just the level of artistry he brings is not comparable, and not in a bad way. Like I just
Right.
hold
He's
him in
in
a
another
different.
world of his own, is what we are talking
Yes.
about this week, Casey.
Yes. Yes, definitely. It's funny that you say that though, and I brought up Jimin earlier because halfway through Suchwita, Jimin does appear. Because so Suga brings up how they've been comparable in the past and they've also collaborated in the past. Jimin appears with Soju, and Jimin says Taemin is a source of inspiration for him. Again, your idol's idol.
Always.
And they kind of just bonded over just their similar vibes, I guess, because Jimin also does the androgynous thing a little bit, the exploring of that duality. Everyone was saying
it's comparable in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and when
If
Jimin had his solo work, people were saying Jimin is bi, and was like exploring I think because of the colors of one of his albums or an image. It was like the bi flag.
They've collabed together. Like they're really, really good friends. Like, all right. Thank you, Casey. It's always a pleasure to have you on. And
I'm happy to be on and happy to talk about Taemin.
Yeah. So listeners, let us know what you thought about Taemin's new comeback. We are on Instagram at Idol Talk Pod. Please rate, review, and subscribe to us on all of our major podcast directories and streaming platforms. If you have any feedback or content requests or topics that you'd like us to cover, feel free to email us at idoltalkpod@gmail.com, or now leave us a voice memo on Spotify. So let us know what you think there.
Oh, technology.
I know.
It's going fast, everyone. So with that being said, we also have our content directory, idoltalkpod.uu.ai, where you'll see previous episodes categorized, and all of our episodes, song recommendations, concert and K-drama reviews, information about us. All of that can be found on that website. All right. Until next time, Casey, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back for another episode next time. Goodbye and good
Bye.
night.